I've always chosen things that I'm passionate about, that I care about, that really I love doing. And so part of life is finding things that you're passionate about and finding that meaning. And then if you're passionate, you're going to work harder at it, and you're going to get better at it. And regardless of where you land, that journey is going to be so fulfilling. So I think I would do it again, even if it hadn't ended with the financial success. By the way, the interesting thing is, right now I look at Peaceworks sometimes as like, well, it was a failure because those 10 years we never broke $2 million in sales. Like, it was from 33,000 to 226,000 to 660,000 to 860,000, and then I don't remember perfectly the rest, but it was around $1 million, $1.2 million, $1 million, $1.4 million, like back and forth, and then we got to 2 million, back to 1 million. But those first 10 years, I didn't break 2 million, and I was hovering around 1 or 2. I'm barely eking by. Like, sometimes I couldn't make payroll for others, so I had to skip my payroll. I'm sorry, I would have not been able to pay. I always paid everybody their salary, but I had to skip my payroll in order to make theirs, and it was difficult. But if you had asked me then, before Kind was born, if I was enjoying what I was doing, I'm like, I'm loving it. And if I was successful, I thought I was the most successful person in the world. Maybe not in the world, but I did not consider myself less successful. And I would get invited, because of the concept of Peaceworks, to things, like I was invited to the World Economic Forum, and I was at Davos with all these people, and I knew I didn't belong there, but there was no, in terms of financial success or anything like that, I knew that I had snuck by, but there was no part of me that wished that I was doing somebody else's job. I loved what I was doing. I was probably the most passionate person in that group, and people could sense that I loved what I was doing, and they were drawn to help me on my mission and when I started One Voice, because it was always authentic. So I think whatever job you're doing, make sure that you're finding within your remit the things that you want to do in your professional growth, and talk to each other about how you achieve that, because you're going to be a much more effective leader at Standard if you are passionate and enjoying what you're doing.